Hey everyone, thanks for joining us for another excellent episode of Connecting Greeks. I'm Ari. I am actually coming live from Cape Cod, Massachusetts. We came here for the holiday. The whole family's here, and it might get a little loud, so just let me know. And with me, as always, is Foti. Foti is over in Boston. How are you, Foti?
Yeah, so Ari, I was a little confused because your background looks like downtown Boston.
It does. I try to fake people up.
All right, cool.
Actually, I went to Plymouth Rock yesterday, and I took pictures. I should have put that as my background.
All right.
And all the way from LA, beautiful LA, is the beautiful Angelo Tsarouchas. Hi, Angelo.
Hey guys, how you doing? What's going on,
Good.
boys?
We are good, man. As good as we can be, but
Surviving.
good.
We're on the eve of Thanksgiving, and I'm excited about today's show again. As always, we got not only is she a wonderful person, she's a friend. We've seen her images everywhere. You've seen her on Maxim magazine, Glamour, Sports Illustrated. She's been on Mad TV, Beverly Hills 90210, Passions. It goes on. There's so much to talk about, but we mostly know her from all the wonderful things she's done, from Deal or No Deal.
Yeah.
She's the girl that holds number 9 in her hands, and it's famous as heck, and I'm so happy. We have lots to talk to her about. Welcome to Connecting Greeks, my good friend Patricia Kara. So welcome to the show, Patricia.
Hi guys.
That's Patricia.
Hi, Patricia. And how you doing, Patricia?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you guys? I'm excited to talk to you tonight.
Good. We're good. We're just here. It's Thanksgiving. I know you're a Chicago girl, so you're.
I am.
Now, would you normally, for Thanksgiving, go back to Chicago to see family, or?
Part of the week I'd be in Chicago, and then I'd come here and celebrate with my friends for the weekend, basically.
Right.
So splitting it up. But I was just in Chicago a couple weeks ago, and now I'm staying put in LA. Are you in Montreal? You guys are from Montreal, right?
No.
No.
Ari is in Cape Cod, Massachusetts.
That's
So
right.
I'm from Boston. I live in DC, but I'm currently in Cape Cod.
Cape Cod.
More confusing.
And Forty is in a minimum security prison in Massachusetts, but they let him out
Just outside
for
of
a
Boston.
couple days.
Just
a
for
week.
tonight. Thank you. Thank you for coming
So
out.
we got a little bit of Boston, we got Chicago, we got Montreal, but we're living in different places. I'm in LA now. So I'm here in LA in quarantine with my girls and my daughter. We haven't really, for 9 months I've been home, which never has happened in my life. And we for the most part we get along. But I got in a fight with my wife last week. I'm gonna ask you guys. I got in a fight with my wife. We fought over Smart and Final. My wife didn't want to go in the afternoon. She didn't think it was safe. And I'm like, being from Canada, I'm so naive. I'm like, well, what's the worst thing that can happen? What's going to happen at Smart and Final in Laurel Canyon? But what I'm realizing is, are we supposed to be this close to people for this long? You know what I'm saying? Like, we're really, with friends and family, we're really getting to know each other.
Sure.
Close. And for you, Patricia, like, us being here, a lot of our work is contact. We need to be in contact with people. We need to, whether you're, if it's a modeling shoot or a television thing or whatever you're doing. I mean, how are you finding it? Tell us what's going on.
A lot of self-tape auditions, nonstop. But I actually, this last week was really busy. It's starting to pick up, and had a couple shoots, masked up. They take your temperature, the whole bit. Everybody keeps at a distance up until you're actually going to shoot whatever it is you're shooting. You take your mask off quickly, shoot, put it back on. So
and put it back on, right?
Yeah. I feel like there's more happening right now, even though we just shut down again. And it's the holidays, so I'm sure it's going to be quiet once again, but it's been interesting all around.
Well, we're hoping. Here's the good thing that's happened on Connecting Greeks. we're finding that as we're bringing guests on our segment that we do every week, that they're getting calls from other people now, which it makes us happy, which means the show is working. And we've had a lot of success with that, right? We've had guests that are being interviewed in Greece that are getting gigs. And I think the good thing about when Ari and Forti approached me, because they knew I was unemployed and there was no other way I was going to do this.
He cornered him.
And I was like, no, but I said, you know, the nice thing about it is good to talk to people. And when we call it connect, especially, and I've learned this a long time ago, because Patricia and I have presented together at the LA Greek Film Festival. We always run into each other, whether it's at a restaurant in Beverly Hills or an event, because they invite us to go, and it's nice because the community, especially Greek-based community in Hollywood, it's not small, but it's not that big either. So
it's gotten better over the years, I have to say.
It's gotten better
a lot,
and I'm slowly trying to get different guests on. And made a lot of new friends. And the thing about when I always tell people this is that, you know, in entertainment, especially the entertainment field, you can see somebody for a couple of weeks and not see them for a year because of what they're doing, right? Some people will go to Canada or Argentina or whatever the case is. You never, but now it's been easier, I think, to get guests because everybody's kind of like, yeah, when do you, when do you want me to come on? Everybody's around.
I've got a couple people for you.
Yeah, good, good. Well, we're going to talk. That's the thing. That's what Greeks, we're good at connecting people or getting single people married. Now, let me ask you, Patricia.
It's so true.
I know it's true. Let me ask you, because we're going to get back to other stuff. Do you find, and this is a Greek thing, I've done it. I don't know if you guys have done it. If you have a friend that's single, male or female, and you're like, I've done this many times where I go, hey, you're a good looking girl, you're a good looking guy. And I don't know. And I know a guy, like I tried to connect two people. One was in Saskatchewan and the other one was in Myrtle Beach. Okay, it was like the pandas, like taking Ling Ling and Sing Sing, seeing if they're gonna mate. And I told my friend, but you know, have you ever been in that situation where you have a girlfriend or even a cousin or somebody that you've tried to connect? Is that Greek?
On a daily basis. I do this all the time. I've been successful with 3 relationships where they got married.
Oh wow!
So, Amy, I'm good at this. And one relationship, they were dating for years. They eventually broke up. And then there's been some that have just hooked up. So I guess that's them too. But yeah, I do it all the time. I can't help myself. I say I'm going to stop doing it. And I automatically, I'm like, what, you're single? Even if I don't know the person, I'm like, what, you're single? I know somebody for you. I know a nice Greek boy. I know, even if it's not somebody.
You're right.
We should start a service then.
Yeah.
We should do like connecting. Well, because you know what somebody said to me?
Your service.
But you know,
we really should. I thought about it. I've actually, since I've been on the show, I've been getting phone calls from all my guy friends. They're like, well, 25 other women on the show. Hook us up.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the next business venture.
Yes. Now I am a dating service.
But you know, it's funny, Patricia, because when I tell people we're connecting Greeks, they actually thought it was a dating service. So people are going, what are you guys doing, a dating service? No, we're connecting Greeks. But then when I think about it, if it was just a dating app connecting Greeks, like they have, like farmers only, they have Faramadori there. And I didn't realize that farmers wanted farmers.
You have a dual purpose. You're good.
Hey, can you pick potatoes and feed the katsikia? Yeah, then you're for me. You know, and it's so funny. It's like, and it's funny you say that because I find a lot of people now, because of the internet and because of apps, have lost the ability to actually make those connections with people. And I'm like you, like I got a lot, we know a lot of people, and it's like sometimes you have to be, because I can see Patricia, you're cool. You'd be a great wingman. Because you can be at a place.
I love doing that. I love doing that.
Because you're beautiful. So if you go over to these hot chicks, you want to come and sit with us, they'll come. And I don't know what it is. That happens all the time. I'm not kidding you. If somebody like Patricia goes over and says to these girls, you want to come and join us? They'll come over.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But if it's me, you, and Forty, we're like those guys on Night at the Roxbury. Me, you, me. No. They're not going to come over.
The best way to set people up, I'm going to tell you, is do not tell them. Just invite people together, a little group setting. Don't tell anybody. Introduce them. Showcase what each person does or what their interests are, kind of casually put it out there, and then all of a sudden they start connecting, and then they're dating, and then they get married.
Wow.
Is that a Greek thing? Why do we have that? We make fun of our parents, but we're just as bad, right?
Instilled it in us. I think.
Yeah, because we're as Greeks, we want to get Greeks together and have Greek babies to make more Greeks.
Make more Greeks. It's true, but it's true. It's funny because I'll laugh at that, and it'll be like I'll go somewhere, and sometimes they say to me, "Oh, that girl's Greek," and I go, "Oh, which one?" Because they'll come up and say, "Hey, yeah, I'm Greek, my dad," or whatever, and you start talking to them. Then you find out you know somebody.
Yeah.
There's always that connection where one person knows the other person, and kind of they connect it together, right? And the old folks would do that. And this is the other thing Greeks do. Well, let's talk. We're going to talk about it. If you're at a Greek wedding or any event, if the guy or girl is worth a lot of money, they tell you the money amount. Right? They go, Greeks will go, "Βλέπεις αυτήν εκεί, ο πατέρας της, 300 εκατομμύρια έχει αυτός." And I laugh, because it's so Greek. And we're not the only culture that Persians do it, Armenians do it, they all do it. But for Greeks, they still kind of like, "Echi lefta." And they always do that. They're always going to say, and with me being a comic, especially in entertainment, they can't figure out if you make money or not. It's the only business they can't figure out.
Angelo.
So yeah.
Are those circumstances, what is the rate of disappointment where they thought they had money, but they really didn't?
That happens a lot, right? Well, in Hollywood, you can drive a Bentley and live in a 1-bedroom apartment. That's how you fake it till you make it here.
That's true.
It's true, right? It's just the way that comes through. But Pat, Patricia, you've done so many things, and I have to tell you, like, Deal or No Deal was one of the biggest game shows in history with Howie Mandel. I worked with Howie Mandel. Howie Mandel's a Canadian, and I've actually done a few shows with Howie over the years, and he's good friends with Russell Peters, so there's a connection.
That's cool.
And when I ran with Howie, he goes, "Yeah, I mentioned you." He goes, "Yeah, of course." We were talking at Russell's house up in the gated communities where regular people aren't allowed to go. I get a day pass once in a while. But I want to, for you, do you still find, because they did another version of it just a year ago or so, and you were on it, which was great. And how many people stop you and recognize you from Deal or No Deal?
Not many, here and there.
No? Right.
Not too much. I think I look a little different on the show with like the big hair and the makeup and the dresses, the whole shebang. But not kids usually realize. They're like, "You're Patricia," and I'm like, "Yeah." So in
nice.
Chicago, when I go to Chicago, especially, I'll get more recognized. But otherwise, not really. Not that much.
Well, my mother-in-law loves you because she watches that show. She watches every game show. And my wife, Alina, told her, Patricia's a friend. My mother-in-law went nuts. She's beautiful. She watches. Now she tells everybody, because she's Armenian, so she'll tell everybody, number 9 case is friends with my daughter and my son-in-law. So
I love that. That's so cool.
It's nice to get that, and I think especially older people love the idea of winning money. Well, everybody does. But I'm going to bring up a case. I'm going to tell you that there's a strange connection me and Patricia have, and I'm going to tell Ari and Forti. And it's a friend of mine who's a Greek singer, Takis Kokotas Statoulis.
Oh, yes.
Okay? Now, guys.
I know where this is going.
You know where it's going, Pat. So I'm calling you Pat. I should say Patricia. I would call you Pat. Patricia.
You know me, Trish.
Trish, better Trish. But the thing is, make it easy. So what happened? Taki told me, and I hang out with Taki. So me, there's a couple of priests, one of them being Greek in LA. I'm not going to say names, a couple of rabbis, a couple others.
Gee.
Once a week, we go out on their Harleys and they have stogies and we hang out. There's a little group in Taki, which is Takis Kokotas Statulis. He calls himself Kokota. So they went to Orlando, guys, and they went, if you got to see the episode, they went on Deal or No Deal as the crazy Greek family.
No way.
And they were breaking dishes. Howie was beside himself. I don't think they ever had guests like it. And I think and Taki and his wife Joanne and George and everybody. They're awesome. They're
a great
awesome
family.
People. They're a great family and they're very open. So when Taki told me, he goes, I can't tell you. He goes, we're going to Orlando. We're getting on Deal or No Deal. And I thought about it, and it was funny because how was it for you, Patricia? Because here's this crazy Greek family who is reminiscent of our own families, and they're on Deal or No Deal. And of course, like all Greeks, they went to the end. They didn't even. He could have walked away with 400 grand.
I was the last person on stage. I'm like, are you gonna ever pick me? I was the last.
Isn't
one
that
standing.
funny? And now I guess when you're on there, now they knew you. They knew who you were because Taki knew. They all know because you're the only Greek woman.
I had to tell the show that I knew them because usually if you know somebody, they can't play the game, or I'd have to leave so they can play the game. They have to replace me for the day.
Right.
So the first night that I'm there in Orlando, everybody knows I'm Greek. They always, make sure they tell everybody on the show, there's a Greek from Chicago. It's really cool. They do that. So the first night I'm there, they're like, we have a Greek family. You're going to be so happy and so excited, that they're going to be, it's a big Greek family. And I'm like, well, from where, who are they? Just out of curiosity. And they're like, oh, they're from California, from LA. I'm like, Greeks all know each other. I'm like, probably know them. I'm like, what's the name? And then they said the name. I'm like, I know them. And so I had to explain to them that I know them, but I don't hang out with them every day. I just went from the Greek functions. They had to discuss it. And at the end, it was okay for me to be on the show while they were on the show. So they said it was fine, which I would have been so bummed if I couldn't have been on their game, but it worked out.
Isn't it funny though? Because they know you, but you were the last one.
I kept looking at them like, are you going to ever pick me? I wanted to go hang out and be their supporter and break plates with them. I thought it'd be so cool to be on that side with the family and partying it up. But it didn't
I thought it
happen.
was great. And you can sometimes on reruns they'll show it. And it's funny because what's funny about it, guys, is at the end you see the family, and then there's Patricia and there's Howie.
I got my Deal or No Deal cup.
Yeah.
There you go, the Deal or No Deal cup. And that's all the animosity. Do you want to take this? Then the banker calls and he does all that stuff, right? But I thought it was hilarious. And then I think you went to their house after to watch it with them, which is great at the compound there.
I got to announce that they were pregnant with a briefcase at their party.
Oh, wow.
It was really cool. It was fun.
That's pretty cool, right?
Yeah, it was definitely a different experience. Those Greeks, man.
They have, but I thought it was so nice because that was cool that you did that, and I think it was so endearing. And they're a nice family. They're so nice, Taki and all. I know them well, and I hang out with Taki.
Do you guys know them? Do you guys ever come to LA? Do you know them?
Not yet, no.
If they come, I'm going to take them with me there to meet Taki. They have a great restaurant.
Yeah.
And they have a place called Frisco's because they did a hamburger. They're always doing stuff with George Lopez, and they had on a food show. Yeah, me and Alan go eat hamburgers on their food show at their restaurant.
Oh, wow.
And then
I want in on this.
And Taki's a great singer. We should even bring him on as a guest. He's a great singer.
He comes to the Honey all the time. Every summer at our church, he sings at the church and other functions, but at the church. This last one, he couldn't even speak afterward. He couldn't sing. He could barely sing. Between the blah blah and the singing, that's what we Greeks do. That's what we do. We love to talk. We love to dance. We love to sing. We love to.
It's so much fun.
We enjoy life.
But I think it's hilarious on a major game show that this is how close Greeks are. One family from California there's a person working you on the show. You know them. I thought that's so Greek that, you know, oh, I know them. I see them around. It's like, that's how connected Greeks are, I find, when you look at it.
I tell everybody we know each other or we're related, which has happened in our family too.
So it's like basically 1 degree of separation.
Yeah,
Big time.
We really are. One or two.
I have to tell you, that happened to my sister years ago. There were these 2 young Greek guys that moved to Chicago, opened up a restaurant. And my sister and her friend heard about it. They went over to meet them and have a bite. They start talking. Turns out they're our second cousins. Luckily, they never dated. They found out right away. It was like, what's your last name? Who's your uncle? You know, that whole thing. And yeah, we're related.
That's crazy.
I'm going to tell you a funny story. Now that you brought that up, you triggered something here, Patricia. So I went years ago. I gone to a wedding in New York. And I think I was about 19 or 20. And we ended up going to this wedding in New York. And I met this girl, Greek girl. She's really pretty. And she sat beside me. She told me her name. We hit it off. And then we kind of snuck out a bit. We made out a little bit.
Ooh.
And, at the wedding, we're young. When you're young, you do. It came back. And then the one Thea comes over. She goes, bravo, Aguila. Here, you met Sophia. She's your second cousin.
Oh,
No.
At which point I thought, can't we pretend we live in Kentucky? What's the difference here?
What else?
Oh my gosh.
That was like, oh God. And what a bummer. Because I really liked her. And I thought, wow, this is weird.
This could really be something here.
I know why we have a lot in common, because we're related. It goes back to the Horia. So, but Patricia, where's your family from? Where's your family from in Greece? What part of Greece are they from?
My mother is, they're both my parents are from outside of, why am I having a brain fart right now?
It's okay.
My mom's from Kaleohori, my dad's from Ayo Vasili.
Okay.
Tiskinurias.
Right.
And I don't know why
all right.
out here we don't have many Greeks that ask you that question, so it's been a while since I've been asked. Tiskinurias, nomos Arkadias.
And when's the last time down in Peloponnesos? When's the last time you were down? When did you go visit Greece?
I was there last year. I went with a big group. It was a business trip, which was awesome and totally different being there on a business trip versus like spending time with your family and going out shopping. It was a pretty cool trip. Got to go to Idra, Spetses.
Nice.
It was definitely a different kind of trip.
Were you filming there?
No,
were you filming?
They're trying to bring more films to Greece and getting a tax break. And I was with a group that's they were introducing it to all the studios here. And I happened to know one of the people, so I got to tag along and, just had some fun.
That's awesome. Because
Yeah.
I went to Greece. We went last year to Greece, and I took the family, took mom, we took Yaya, we took everybody. We went to Rhodes, and we had a great time. I did a weird show in the Choreo because I toured there too.
Did you?
But
really?
But my daughter's like, Daddy, can we go back to Greece? She's only 8, and she wants to go back. And it's interesting how it affects you. And I always tell people, I said, now I'm at the point now, because especially with this COVID, and I'm thinking to myself, my daughter's at home doing school. I thought, when school's over, my dream now, guys, is when school's over, I want to go to Greece. Oh. And the day before school starts, come back.
Yeah. I'm with you.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm fed up.
Thinks.
And I'm thinking, you know what? And I thought, I'm down for this now. I just had such an appreciation for it. So let me ask you, Patricia, now with COVID, because, things were humming along for everybody, and then things just came to a stop. So how are you coping with it otherwise? I mean, it's good to hear that you're getting busier lately. I think there seems to be a movement now that people are getting fed up. But in terms of, like, if you're doing a modeling shoot or something like that, how do they distance you, like, with because you're away from the photographers anyway, so
yeah,
do you do your own makeup?
No, they actually had hair and makeup for us, wardrobe for us, which I was surprised. I have heard from other friends that they had to do their own,
Right.
which is always a bummer. But no, they had everything set up. We didn't have to bring anything, which they probably feel better about not having us bring stuff there with COVID just in case.
Right.
But it was really kind of nice and easy, and they thought of everything. They covered everything, so it was great. Everything was just sanitized consistently, and I mean the whole works. But again, it's just been recent a couple times, so we'll see where it goes from here. Because I heard they're putting a stop on that too with some of the shooting.
With the shooting, but I have to tell you, and I told Patricia knows this, but I'm going to tell the guys and for people listening, I was working at the Comedy Club, House of Comedy in Minneapolis at the Mall of America. And I'm walking down the mall, guys, and this big picture of this beautiful woman. It's for a beer ad, and it's you. And I said to the guy, and I said to the other comic, remember I told you this? And I said to the other comic, I know this girl. And he goes, you're full of shit. You don't know her. I go, I do know her. Dude, seriously, you know her? I go, I do. I go, and then I told him who you were, number 9. He goes, really? He goes, that's dope. And you walk, that's the biggest mall in America. And when you're in Minneapolis, you don't have much to do. So, and then it's a whole cutout cardboard of you. It's like a big ad. I want to say for
St. Pauli girl, St. Pauli's girl.
St. Pauli's girl. And they had it there. And it was great. Like you walk up, you're right there, right? And now imagine, it's funny because he goes, how do you know her? I go, she's Greek.
That's all you have to say.
It goes back to that. And I said, she's Greek. I go, I know her from, he goes, really? I go, yeah. It was, oh, that's dope. So I found it interesting how sometimes things will happen. Like, I mean, in Minneapolis of all places, because once you do a shoot, that's it. It goes out to the world. You don't know where it's going to end up. But I thought it was just hilarious. Have you found your relatives or friends have seen you in things where you forgot about it or don't remember? Does that happen?
My sister who lives in Greece has seen some stuff, and she'll call me up and she's like, I just saw your picture here or there. So it's really cool to hear that from even my cousins nationwide here. So I'm always like, take a picture, send it to me. Saw like a tag on clothing, and I'm like, I didn't know I was on clothing. So take a picture and send it to me. I should be getting residuals for this. No.
Yeah. Send it to me so we get something from it.
I have a question for Patricia. Patricia,
Yes.
what is Patricia Greek for?
Panayota. Everybody always asks that.
I
Some
knew
people
it,
think
but I
it's
just
from
want to ask.
Paraskevi. A lot of people think Paraskevi, but it's Panayota.
Panayota, right? It's not Paraskevi, that would be Friday.
Oh, yes, Friday.
I like that. Now, why would they name women Friday in Greek? Paraskevi.
That's a good question. Anybody know the answer?
GIF.
DJ Paraskevi or what? Deftera. If you have a cousin, I love the Deftera.
No, nobody wants to be named Deftera. That's why.
Kafedaki, right?
Deftera.
Paraskevi.
Paraskevi is a fun day, so I guess it's on a good name.
That's true. It is a fun day. So,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Well,
I'm sure that's not the reason, but.
Panayota is good, and it's like, so do you find, because I know you've been on Mad TV, you've done stuff there, you've done all Vegas and some cool shows.
Resume, were you just going through the resume?
Well, I have to, because you know what, you have so much stuff that I know other things you do, but you've done so much stuff, Patricia, that I got to look at stuff. And I'm doing what the talk shows do now, but we don't have a producer, so I have to look at my stuff here. And
How long have you guys been doing this? I don't even know. Let me interview you. Let me ask
interview
you.
us. How long have we been doing it now? You want my opinion, too long, but
Angela, you're stuck with us till COVID's over.
But this is a good thing about the internet now. You can just, if you want to know anything about people, look, I do it. I'll admit it. I'll be sitting in company. Like yesterday, I'm bragging. I was at Russell's house. I was hanging out with Ray Parker Jr.
I saw the picture
from Ghostbusters, and I'm on my phone, like Googling him. And I know, because somebody said they did that to me once. They wanted to see, right?
He had
who you
that
gonna
one
call?
song.
Yeah,
Who you gonna call?
Yes.
Ghostbusters. That was a big
Wasn't there
song.
another good song he had?
He had a couple, but
like
a woman.
Halloween one, something. I can't remember it, but yeah, he's great.
But now, do you not? You know, if it's like the thing is now, especially here in Hollywood, you can't brag about credits you don't have, because what people do here now is they'll Google you as you're talking to them, or in a parea, right? So with me, of course, I know that most of the stuff that you've done, but I wanted to see other things because we're interviewing you and you're our guest. But I'm looking at your stuff, and man, this girl's got so much stuff here, man. I can't talk about everything. I'll pick out points.
I love it even at auditions when you'll see the casting person or the client on the phone and they're Googling you while you're auditioning. They're not even paying attention to you. They're just Googling.
They're looking at your stuff. Yeah, they're just Googling you, like what's going on.
What are you up to? What have you been doing?
But let me ask you, don't you find it annoying now? I hang out with friends. We do social distancing cigars. Here in LA, we go outside. And now I'm noticing, like, I can understand my daughter's generation. They're 9 years old. They're on their iPads. But I find now with parea, and you'll go with people, and people are like, you'll be hanging around, and there's about 5 people, and everybody's like this.
Everybody's on the phone.
On their phone.
You guys guilty of it?
Sometimes.
I love the honesty.
Yeah.
Like,
We kind of do it, but I find
when you're bored,
I'm more interested in
bored with the
people. I
person
like
you're with.
talking.
No,
I'm more,
I like it in the morning when I have my coffee and I'm sitting at the on the couch
Yes.
watching the news and I'm doing it, and then my kids are like, make me feel guilty that I'm on the phone.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
About it.
Goodness.
You
Bye-bye.
get it. But you're on the phone a lot though, Forty. You got issues.
You got problems, Swati.
Problems got Forty. But I do it.
Listen, I'm seeing a therapist. Hopefully that can help me.
For many things, it's just
Anything you want to talk about right now, we're here for you.
Well,
look, Angelo.
I just poured myself a drink, so yes, let's go.
Angelo, I'm gonna make
Yamas.
an offer to you, and Patricia, you could jump in on this, but you can't tell anybody. As a web developer and as an app developer, I could put any credits you want online, and they'll get right up on Google. So you just let me know.
Really? That's
You
good
want
to
to
know.
My list.
You want to be like a tap dancing professional? I'll build a whole tap dancing page for you. Like whatever you want on your resume, I'll make it.
I might
That's
take
what
you
it
up on this
takes.
offer.
Things have been slowly, Ari. We may need to do this and put it together.
Well,
Google means nothing if you know how to work the algorithms.
That's true.
Well, the
Isn't
I
that
need you
true?
in my life.
Yeah.
To do all that stuff. So
It's hard to keep up with everything.
it's too much.
insane.
It's way too much.
I'm no good at the tech stuff anyway. I'm just not good
With
at
the
it.
social media. And do you find, here's the thing I've noticed, because, I think even what we're doing now, after we do this, we're going to put it up, we're going to post it up, and we put it up all over our platforms and social media. We get a lot of viewers who I find some people are watching it live, but most people are going to watch it after that we've
So
been
it
getting.
is live? Hi to my nephew and my sister.
Yeah, if they're watching it now.
They should be. They better be.
They have with the Zoom. But how much time a day do you find you spend on social media? Because we have to do it now. It's inevitable.
Yes. In the beginning of COVID, I would say the first few months, I wasn't as bad. Like I actually was putting it down. I was being creative, doing other stuff. I've been so bad the last couple of months. Like I just can't stop scrolling. I'll put it down for 1 second and it's back in my hand. Guilty.
Right.
Just
It's an extension of you now.
habit.
Yeah.
What?
It's an extension of you.
It really is.
Yeah.
That's
These
not
things
gonna
are.
That's
But
not-
I still like interacting with people. It's one thing to, we could text and go online and stuff. I like this. I like talking. I like getting to know the person. And I think the art of that is slowly going away.
Angelo.
And I noticed even in Greece, when I was in Greece last year, I mean, everybody's on the kinito now. They're the Greek kids especially, and they're very savvy with internet.
I need a millennial in my life.
Yeah, but these generations, they don't know how to interact. They remember when you were little and you had to call a girl you liked or a boy you liked, and their parents would answer, and you'd have to like be charming and be like acceptable to them, and then you get to them. Kids don't know how to do that anymore. Everything they do is online, and there's no like personal connection there. and it's weird.
How often do you guys experience the fact that you're going back and forth with text messaging with somebody, and you're like, screw it, I'm gonna call them. You call the person, they don't
And they
pick
don't
up,
answer.
but
Don't
they,
answer.
but they respond to you again in text.
I
It's
hate
so
that.
true.
It is true. I hate when we're texting and they call me and it's like I'm in the middle of something where I can't answer because then I feel bad. I'm like, they probably think I'm ignoring them,
Yes.
but I'm really not. But it's happened both ways.
It's the world we live in today, right?
Yeah.
It is, and
So true.
my fingers get tired, so I can't text anymore. I'm gonna call you. And
Remember the
it's
Jetsons?
weird.
Remember the
Jetsons.
Jetsons where her
Yeah,
finger
yeah.
would hurt?
Would hurt. My finger
That's
hurts
us
from
now.
this.
The
Was it
Jetsons were prophetic.
Janie? Yeah, Janie. It was Jane and what was the wife's name on the Jetsons?
Judy and Jane.
Judy and Jane.
Elroy.
Yeah, Judy
And
and Jane.
Elroy. I
Elroy.
remember Elroy.
And Astro.
Oh my
Astro
gosh,
and
you're
Elroy.
good. You're good
That's
at this
good, Adi.
game.
Well, Adi
I'm a
still
trivia
watches them.
master.
Adi still watches the cartoons,
Gotta be on
so it's
Jeopardy.
good, right?
I gotta
No,
love
but-
the cartoons.
But I just find that it's so now. I mean, even as a comedian, like I want to interact. Like you're talking, a lot of times you're talking to people. You want to hear what people think or how they feel, and it's interesting to me because you have to be a good listener as an orator. But at the same time, I find that I've noticed now, even this generation of kids, if they get together with their iPads, there'll be 5 kids with 5 iPads sitting together. That's how they play.
That's crazy.
It's nuts, isn't it? And I remember now, of course, things are different, but the idea of that's why I liked taking my daughter to Greece last year. She was outside playing and not so much on the internet, but the kids were swimming and playing and going out, which
How
I
old
think
are all
is.
your kids? Do all 3 of you have kids?
I have an 8-year-old.
I've met your daughter.
You met my daughter.
I have a 20-month-old boy.
Oh, little baby.
I got
Yeah.
2 girls, 8 and 5.
Oh, I feel for you guys with the
Oh,
daughters.
girls,
Oh,
daughters. Oh,
boy.
my God.
God's gonna punish me.
Karma, my
Definitely.
friend.
It's
Anything
definitely.
anything you did wrong to any female is gonna come bite you in the ass now with your daughters.
Totally.
I'm
And you got
preparing, I'm
daughters.
preparing.
The worst thing, I don't care how tough you are, you have a daughter, you're screwed because it's like they'll say things and do things. I was coming home last year and it was Alina's birthday. So my daughter FaceTimes me and she goes, I don't know if you're aware, but Saturday is my mother's birthday, your wife. Okay, my mother's birthday, your wife. And we like to go to the Palm. So I suggest you make reservations at the Palm, Daddy, because
Nice.
we love to go to the Palm.
I
And
love how she rolls.
she rolls like that. And I thought, and it's so funny. And I thought about it and I thought, it's like she's telling me basically it's my mother's birthday, your wife. We like going to the Palm and make the reservations because guess what, Malaka? You're taking us to the Palm. And I get a huge kick out of it. But what I was proud of was the fact that she was able to put it all together at 7 years old and tell me this. And it's not like everybody's going to tell you how smart and awesome their kids are. Some of them are just scatulia. But at the same time, you
I
listen.
haven't heard that word in so long.
Yeah, the scatulia.
Scatulaca.
Scatulacia, little shits.
Oh my God.
And you would get. So let me ask you, Patricia, because I think you grew up pretty much like we all did in a first generation, because you're Greek. You have the conversational Greek like we all do. Do you ever find yourself thinking about something in English or Greek and responding in the other language? Has that ever happened to you, like a Greek Tourette's?
Yes. And a lot of people end up asking me why I have an accent. And I think it's because I do the Gringlish and I mix my words.
Yeah.
But then now, because I mean, I've been in California for years and I don't feel like I have enough people to speak Greek to. When I go back home to Chicago, my Greek used to be a lot better. And now I feel very self-conscious when being around my friends that speak fluent Greek. And I'm like, my American accent comes out. And I'm like, what is that? Who is that? It's so weird. So I'm trying to improve. But, I don't get to speak it as much as I'd like to. I mean, I teach my husband Greek words here and there, but that's not enough.
It's not enough because it's
It's
so
not.
true. It's true, right? Because it's almost like I have a friend here who I speak Greek. He's actually Lebanese Greek, but he speaks perfect Greek. So when I'm with him, I talk to him in Greek, and my friends are like, "Why do you guys always talk in Greek? Are you talking about us?" I go, "No, no. If I have anything to say to you, I'll say it." But I said, I have nobody
No,
to talk Greek to,
You're
and
definitely
I'm
talking about
scared.
him.
Yeah, we're talking about. Well, that's what Greeks do. We want to talk about something. Βλέπει αυτόν εκεί, θα σου πω μετά. Θα σου πω μετά τι γίνεται. And we do. I still do that. Like, I'll be somewhere, I go. I was at an Armenian wedding. I go, αυτός εκεί θα σου πω μετά τι γίνεται. Εντάξει, μετά. And then what did you say? Oh no, I was telling you about the weather.
Even as Greeks, you don't even have to talk Greek. We just got body language when we're Greeks. We need to say something about somebody. It's like the
head nod.
facial expressions.
Our
It's so
expressions
true.
are the best.
Oh man.
So true. And if you remember, I think you were there, Patricia. It was an award show for the LA Greek Film Festival. They wanted me to present an award. I think you were there. You were presenting after me. And I went on stage and they told me, do something funny and then present the award for short film festival. So as I'm walking up to present this award, I think you were there. I said, short film festival, or as the Greeks call it, the nano category, because short. So they were like, I made a joke. So they said, make a joke for a couple of minutes, then give the award out. Well, then a director from Greece, he was directing the thing, and he thought it was the Oscars, but we're there. So this guy kept playing walk-off music on me. I go, "Deteliosa." So the guy's playing walk-off, and I go, "Look, if you want me to get off the stage, come up and pick me up, all 30 of you, and take me off the stage."
I love it.
And then we're on stage, and the guy kept doing it, so it was annoying me. And he didn't realize it. I go to him, and in Greek, I said to him, not realizing everybody's Greek there, and everybody was laughing, going, "Oh, Tsaruka's being funny." No, I wanted to break the guy's
You're
face.
like, no, I'm serious, man.
I'm serious. And then the guy, when I came off after, somebody came up and goes, "You forgot you were at a Greek film festival thing." I go, "I did." Because I knew the guy was Greek. I go, "Stamata, let me finish." They told me to do this and then present the award. And whenever you have a comic at an award show, you try to be a bit funny. I mean, that's the reason why you're there.
While you're there, yeah.
But your curse as a comedian is nobody's going to take you seriously ever.
They're not going to take you seriously. I go, and they're laughing. They go, "It's funny. You're going to break the guy's face." And no, I'm going to do it for real. But I think it's just funny how so many things are lost in translation.
I love. I've seen your. Sorry to butt in, but and cut you off. But you do that on stage where you talk about translating Greek phrases into
everything.
I laugh every time. I've seen it a few times. Laugh hysterically. It's just they just don't make any sense, but it's just so funny. Love it.
Funny you bring that up, Patricia. Isn't that the way we were? It's not like I invented it. Isn't that the way we were raised? Like so many things that we were told at home, or the old country sayings, and I even to this day I carry them with me. I'm still superstitious.
Are you really?
I am. I won't put shoes on the table because Greeks. If you put papuchi on the table, it's bad luck. You don't put. There's certain things that with a psalidia. Do you do this? If you have scissors, you don't hand them to somebody. Put them on the table, and then they pick them up from there. Because they say if you give psalidia, if I give you scissors, we're gonna fight.
Oh, I've never heard that one.
Well, how about this, Angelo? You gotta walk out the door you came in. You can't.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Especially in Calomina when it's Protomiña,
Yes.
you have to walk in. There's like a luck thing too, like whose house you go into and the luck you bring, and you have to exit the same door.
Right.
The right foot. Right.
Or how about you can't give your loved one a watch for a gift? Your significant other.
I don't know if I've heard that one.
The watch signifies that you're limiting your time with them.
Oh.
Well, that
was one of
explains
the first things I got my husband, actually.
You could have told me after.
Time.
I was like, you could have told me. You could have told me before I bought this.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, that was one of the first gifts.
Yeah.
But I'm still super. Are you superstitious at all, Patricia? I am. I
I'm
still
not.
am.
I find little things here and there. One of the things my mom always said as a female, don't put your purse on the floor. So I'm always like, oh, mom, that's so dumb. That's so stupid. I don't believe it. I catch myself putting it on the table versus I catch myself doing these, or don't walk under a ladder, or mavrigata and this mavrigata, that's bad luck.
How about this, Patricia? My mom told us never chew gum at night
I've never heard that one.
because
What's the reason?
because that signifies that you're chewing the bones of the dead.
What?
Really?
I swear to God.
There's some weird ones,
I
man.
want to meet your mom.
I don't think you want.
Or maybe you don't.
Oh, but there's
no.
a lot of
No,
weird
they're-
traditions.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. I mean, depending where part of Greece you come from, there's all these like urban legends. That's what
Yes.
there's all these urban
Right.
legends about like what they grew up with and what they were told as kids, and they carry that on. They carry that on with them to us, and that, like you said, Patricia, like you find yourself doing things that you don't even like you brush it off, but then when you're in the moment,
It's
you're
in
like,
there.
oh wait a minute, I'm not chewing.
Yeah.
It's 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
I'm spitting this gum out.
What part of Greece are you guys all from? My turn to ask it.
Yeah. So myself, both of my parents are from a small island off the coast of Turkey called Kalimnos, part of the Deccanese change, where
Yeah.
Rhodos and Kos. That's where both of my parents are
Beautiful.
from. Ari?
My
I've seen
dad's
pictures.
from.
Yeah.
Sorry. My dad's from Filiatra in Peloponneso, and my mom is from Kriti, Chania.
Oh, beautiful. I love Chania.
Two clans of people that want to kill people. That's great. And my dad's from Sparti, and my mom's from Mytilene. And Nishotes and mainlanders don't get along. I can tell you right
That's
now.
funny.
All right,
It's so true, though.
What Greeks get along to begin with?
Don't you find that Greeks from one village hate the other village 300 meters away?
Yeah, it's like the
Intensely.
the old city states tribalism.
Like, the funny
It's
thing
very
is,
much true.
Angelo, just as Greeks, like on this side, your parents or your family want you to, growing up, oh no, find a nice Greek, woman, find a nice Greek man,
Right.
and then when you do find that person, like, oh, apopuine,
And then it's like,
And it's not
no
enough.
go.
what does that matter?
That's true.
It's not enough that they're Greek. Now they have to be from the right place
Oh,
in Greece.
God.
From the same Choreo.
Right. So you're right.
Hey.
Like we're even though we're connected as Greeks, we're still so like separated in our ways of, the traditions and the way of living, or the way of thinking that each area in Greece presents. And it's always a funny thing as Greeks how we kind of like we're so like, I don't even though we think ourselves as Greeks, but we're so like separated in different ways.
Right. No,
You
I
know?
know what you're talking about. I know what you mean.
And it boggles my mind because I sit back and I laugh at listening to the fact that, oh, he's from there and this is how they are, or this is what they do and this is what we do.
It's
But-
that old village mentality.
It's crazy, but I think for me it's comical. That's the way I just break it down.
You have to laugh at it.
It's comical.
My Kubati got married in Montreal, and they're from Thessaloniki, and the other ones are Eviotis. They're from Evia. So I get up on the microphone and I go, my dad said there's only two Greeks in the world, Spartiates and those who want to be. And they went
heard
nuts
that.
on me.
Yeah.
Figa pouquinho, and I'm like fueling it because that's, I mean, I find it's interesting because, you bring that up at when I was in high school in Ottawa, when I grew up in Ottawa, there was a Greek girl named Helen, beautiful. Her dad was Kritikos, man. Elenida, I liked her. I wanted to take her to the prom. So she said, I want to go with you. We were secretly dating. That's how you did it. And those days she goes, you have to ask my dad if it's
God.
okay to go. And I went to the
Oh.
house. I did. 18 years old. I went to the house to talk to her dad. I swear to God, to ask him if I could take, her name was Helen, if I could take Helen to the prom, and you tell me what time to have her back, I'll have her back, right? And he goes, this guy's asking me, what are my plans for the future? I'm 18 years old. How the hell do I know? I told him broadcasting and film, whatever. I remember this. And then he said this to me. He goes, I really appreciate you coming here. But unfortunately, this was a Monday night. We have Kubati coming from Montreal, and Helen can't go.
Oh.
And I thought, you're a malaka, because I actually had the balls to go to you and respectfully ask you just to take your daughter to the prom at high school. But he still had that all critical mentality, right?
By the way, I love the koboloy.
The koboloy, I do that now. Magas. But it's funny. It's funny. But you know, Patricia, it's funny. And I know I've known Helen for years later. You know, she said to me, "My dad regrets never letting you take me to the prom." I go, "Why?" Because I married somebody who's the complete opposite of who we wanted. But I'm thinking, I didn't ask you to marry your daughter. I asked you to go to the prom. But, you know, and I thought about it. I've been thinking about it as material because it's a true story. I actually went there. Most people at 18 years old in Canada or America wouldn't do that. But I'm like, I didn't care. I think he was more weirded out that I showed up.
I can't wait to see what you guys are going to be like when your daughter is 18.
Yeah, forget it, man.
You may be that guy.
Yeah.
Some guy with an earring.
Hopefully
driving
there'll be
a
no
Harley,
proms then.
tattooed up. Yeah, I'm gonna take your daughter to
Oh,
Burning
I can't
Man.
wait. I can't wait for the stories.
Oh, forget it. We're not gonna be. I'll be too old to do anything then. I'll be lucky if I'm regular during the week, let alone control my daughter, Patricia.
They're not even gonna tell you there's gonna be a prom. It's just gonna happen. We're not even gonna know.
Yeah, they're gonna go.
I bet you.
Whatever, Dad. Going out. I don't care, Dad. I don't give a shit, Dad.
Yeah, you think in like 10 years they're going to be asking you? They're not going to ask you anything.
They're not even asking now. The kids go online and stuff, you know.
Ooh.
And it's so funny how they.
How was your dad, Patricia? Was your dad strict?
I grew up without my dad, so I didn't have any of them. My mom was pretty strict.
My mom was tough.
Very tough. I got lucky though because I'm the third daughter, the youngest. So I got away with a lot more than my sisters.
You're the
did.
Rebecca.
My mom gave up by the time I came around. She's like, whatever. Like she just couldn't handle it. I was more of a tomboy. I was different. What was that?
She had her hands full with 3 girls.
She did. I think I was probably more the troublemaker than my sisters were, though, I have to say. But yeah, she was really, really strict. Finally one day I'm like, I'm gonna date. Just accept it. I think I was like 16 or 17.
Right.
I'm like, you can't hold me back anymore.
And you, in typical fashion, you probably like
moms are the best.
You probably hated her for that, and then when you got a little older, you realized how awesome she was for doing that.
I swear every day now I'm like, I wish I would have listened to my mom when she said this. She was so right about that. And then I find myself saying things that she says, and I'm like, who am I?
Yeah.
How about that famous saying? Well, at least my mom's and aunts say, "Θα με θυμάσαι όταν πεθάνω."
Oh my God. Κάθε μέρα το έλεγε. Κάθε μέρα.
Why do you say that? Yes.
Always said that.
My mom goes,
the guilt.
Να παντρευτείς μια ξένη να τρως McDonald's κάθε μέρα. McDonald's. Να τρώτε κάθε μέρα στο σπίτι.
Oh, man.
My mom used to try to get me in the kitchen to learn how to cook. She's like, ποιος θα σε θέλει, αν δεν μπορείς να μαγειρεύεις για τον άντρα σου. To this day, I still can't cook. And when I got married to my husband, I'm like, he cooks, Mom. See, I told you. I'm going to find somebody that can cook. I got lucky.
You got lucky. Your husband cooks, so it's good.
I got lucky.
Now, how does your husband? Now, I know your husband. I met him when we were at the restaurant in Beverly Hills. He's not Greek, your husband.
No.
He's not Greek. How does he?
He's becoming a Greek.
Is he? Now, how does he feel being married to a Greek? Especially even you know, because you're easygoing, but you're still Greek. It's not easy for the Kseni to marry into the Greek.
our wedding, we had our wedding in Greece, and it was so funny. It was kind of like My Big Fat Greek Wedding documentary. Right. Like it was a documentary. So our families first met in Greece during our wedding because they live on the East Coast. My family spread out everywhere. So the first time they all met, the Greek side was here, the American side was here. We're all eating off each other's plates. There's smoking, they're drinking. His side was just like, what is happening? But I will say the coolest thing by the wedding, a few days later, everybody was up there. Like his dad learned how to zebekiko, and he did zebekiko dancing with one of my Greek friends. He's like, I want to dance just like him, and I was like, that's awesome. So they got into it. They really just. They got, what's the word? Greekanized. Greekified. There you go. I like that better. They got Greekified, and it was awesome. It was the best time. It was so much fun.
It's proof that we have like that dominant culture where everybody always comes like us.
They look at us like we're a little crazy, which we are a little, but then they're like, I want to be in that. I want to do that. So it's a lot of fun. I mean, it's harmless.
But don't you find, adding to what Ari just said, I agree. Whether you're female or male, it seems to me that Ari's right. If you marry a Greek, the Greek side takes over. Usually, I mean, in one way, or it's a colonization that we have that they don't give up. You know, because who told me? I have a friend of mine. She married her husband who's not Greek. And I talked to him, he goes, yeah, it's cool. You know, I'm not really religious or nothing, but the deal is that when we get married, I have to be Greek church. I can't give that up. Like it was like, he said to me, I'm not religious, but these were the terms. And it's funny because she said, well, at first that didn't matter. And then he goes, yeah, it didn't matter until we were serious. And now, and I know a gay couple in Australia where the guy's Greek and he's Jewish. Oh. They got married.
And how did they do their wedding?
They still, because the Greek church won't recognize same sex. They got, but he said to me, they got blessed, and he said to me, and this is Jewish and Greek, two strong cultures, and his partner said to me, guess what? He goes, the Greeks won. I couldn't fight. They still had to have a Greek ceremony, a Greek thing. And this is a same-sex couple. And he said, I thought Jews were bad. He goes, you Greeks are worse than us. And I said to him, I go, whether you're, it doesn't matter if you're homogenous or if you're gay or whatever, the Greek side's always going to win. I said to him, you're never going to win that one.
Angela, was he Spartan?
I think he was from Kalimnos, I think. No, but I was laughing. What are you laughing? I said, I'm not laughing because you guys got married. I'm laughing that the Greek side, even in a same-sex marriage, still wins.
That's funny. That's great.
Right? Isn't that funny? Like, I thought that's interesting to me that
it makes a difference. It's just the culture. The culture, no matter who you are, the culture will dominate. It's I don't know anybody Greek who got married to a non-Greek where they didn't have a Greek wedding if they could, or if they didn't eventually like have their kids like, you know, celebrating the Greek Easter instead of the American one, and you know, all the Greek things are always the dominant thing.
Always. I have to say, my husband, who hates being in the limelight, doesn't like to be on camera, doesn't like anything. Where I'm always like, I'll go in front. I'll do it. At our wedding, I had him on the table dancing with me. I was shocked. It was awesome. It was the best night. I haven't been able to get him on the table since, but that night, at least he did it.
Look,
he's like a Greek rock star.
I met your husband. He's a good-looking dude. The two of you look like a walking bank commercial every time I see you guys. You see them together, and they're just like this great-looking couple. You know, so that's great. But it's true, man. You watch those, city part of your life, and there's Patricia and her husband coming in like that, you know. But that's great. Well, you know what? It's funny. We're already at an hour. Can you believe how fast this thing went? But we're gonna do. Forty does this thing, Patricia, where we talk questions because.
Yeah.
But before that, if people, Patricia, if they want to find you, Patricia, what's your handle on Instagram and Facebook? We want to give that plug for you, and if there's anything coming up to tell us.
Yes.
Everything is at Patricia Kara. Kara with a K. K-A-R-A.
With a K.
Patricia Kara.
Patricia
We'll
Kara.
also we'll link everything to the videos on the podcast as well.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you
We're
so
going to
much for
link
doing
it all
that,
up.
guys.
It goes through our network, which actually is growing and growing. Australia and all over the place, which is great.
We don't
And
want to
before-
brag, but we are the launching pad now for all celebrities.
We are. It's been good. It's been working for people.
I love that you guys are doing this. What a brilliant idea.
Yeah, we're
It's great.
trying. We're trying
Greeks-
until
I know
one of
Greeks
us
love
gets.
this.
We've been having a lot of fun with this,
Thais says
And-
big time.
big time. But now, Patricia, this is the part of the show where Forty asks you questions
Yes.
about Greek-related questions, and then we'll
Off the
say goodnight. So, Forty, you take it over
All
now.
right. Thank you so much. So Patricia, this has been a treat for all of us because I've watched the shows, No Deal, and when Angela presented that we're gonna be on the show, I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe this. So forgive me if I'm a little taken away from the fact that you're with us. But
You're very sweet. Aw,
just-
thank you. That's very sweet.
so we always like to ask all of our guests who are obviously Greek or Greek American or Greeks from abroad. I think we all have so many common traits together. The first question we like to ask is, as a Greek, what is your favorite and least favorite Greek food?
My favorite, can I give two?
Sure.
Sure.
Why not?
Yovarelakia
Nice.
Mm,
and
Yeah.
pasticcio. Those
Nice.
are my two
Mm.
all-time favorites.
yeah,
Love.
good ones. Good ones.
How do I have a least? There's no least because I love all Greek food. I'm like trying to think.
There's got to be something that actually you've just said, nah, I can't do this.
Maybe
If you want
lachano
to
dolmades.
just say the goat innards at Easter or something.
Oh,
Oh God.
Magirita.
cheating,
I
are
will,
you?
Yeah.
I will never
No.
eat magirita. Otherwise, I would say lachano dolmades because I don't like. At least as a kid, I didn't like the lachano.
Cabbage.
yeah.
Lachano.
Lahana.
I
Now
love
I would probably
lachano
eat
dolmades.
it.
To Patricia's credit, like Lahana Dolmades don't have the best aromas, but they do taste great. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I might eat it now. I haven't tried it in years, so I might. My
All
taste
right,
buds
all
have
right.
changed, so maybe.
so
Maybe.
you would like it and pasticcio.
Yovarelakia is the best.
Good choice. Good
Right.
choices.
I miss that.
So, if there was one destination in Greece, you've been to Greece, you've had great time. So, if there was one place that you'd say, this is the place I'm going to spend the rest of my life, where would it be?
I know a lot of people are going to give me a hard time for saying this. Mykonos, but not the
Mykonos?
party side. It's good. So we got
There's
married.
a
in,
non-party side in Mykonos.
Yes, there is. There's like a family side, very family oriented.
Nice.
Ari, you never told me
Platizia
this.
It's it's Platizia Los is the area. That's where we got married, and we go there and we become family with the people that own the restaurant and hotel there. We become really good friends. It's like home, our second home there.
Oh,
So
that's
Platizia Los. I'll see you guys
Platizia
there.
Los,
Come
Mykonos.
visit
Okay,
anytime.
yeah.
Awesome.
But we can't really tell everybody on the show because then if everybody knows, it'll be too commercialized and then it'll take away from everything.
They'll open a
Only you guys know. You
Right.
can only be there.
And then the last question, Patricia, that we just started to ask is, growing up as a Greek, obviously in the household, political parties has been a part of, our separation as Greeks. But also what's been separating us as Greeks when we're growing up is, what affiliation or soccer team were your family a part of growing up? Who were you forced to side with as a kid?
I never did. I should, my nephew would be able to answer this question better because he was
Well,
really into it.
Colors
But
are
I
important.
never,
Colors might be the thing because as growing up as Greek Americans, there was either the team that wore red, which was Olympiacos, the team that wore green, which was Panathinaikos, the
I
team
don't know.
that wore yellow and black.
Do I have a lifeline? Can I call a friend?
Do it.
You got a lifeline, make a call. Fair enough. I think she's Panathinaikos, to be honest with
I
you.
actually think it might be, and my nephew's going to kill me if I'm wrong because
If
he's
he's
the only one I know that
Olympiacos.
talked about that stuff when he was little, but nobody else. A lot of
That's
women in my
awesome.
family. That's
Awesome.
funny.
Well,
thank you
look-
so much.
Yeah, thanks, Patricia. Thanks for coming
Thank
on
you,
our
guys.
show today. It's been a delight to have you on.
Same here,
Have a
man.
happy
Thank you.
Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your fam.
Happy
And
Turco.
happy Turco Day. Stab
That's
it and
probably
kill
not
it.
the right thing to
Stab
say.
it. Yeah, stab it and kill it. It's okay. You can
Angelo,
say
even though it's Turco Day, we're definitely gonna still have lamb on the table, right?
it. Lamb.
You
Oh,
have to
that's right.
have
Lamb
lamb.
and pasticcio and all
And
the other
you
stuff.
like ya?
Yo, might like ya.
Wait, but we got to bring Patricia back again because I feel like there's a lot more to say and we just didn't get to it.
There is.
You know what I really
Definitely.
wanted to do today? I wanted to bring my Greek girls with me, Elena and Leah, which Angela, I don't know if you know them, and do three. I was going to surprise you guys, but it didn't end up working out. Where there were three of us girls talking to the three and
You
all
guys,
three.
let's do it next time. Why
right,
not?
next
That
time,
sounds like
next time.
Is
fun.
up for it?
Yeah, definitely.
Sure,
Let's do it.
definitely.
That'll be
do it next
awesome.
time.
Okay, cool. I'll have them on next time. We'll be together and we'll have one big Greek party.
Love
That'd
it.
be awesome.
That would be really cool.
Bye, guys. Thank you so much and happy Thanksgiving.
Happy
Thanksgiving.
thanks, Patricia. Thank you.
Like
Filakya.
Hey, thanks
Bye.
everybody. Thank you,
Bye.
Patricia, so much for your time, and we look forward to seeing you. Hopefully, things get a little better, and we're gonna see your face a lot more. Thank you, Foti. Thank you, Angelo. Check out the video and the podcast, and we will have Patricia's up. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Thank you for watching, and we will see you next time. And Patricia will have her whole gang of girls with her, so stay tuned for that.
Hey guys.
All right.
Definitely.
Bye bye guys. Bye bye.
Hi, guys.
Bye
Till next time.
bye.
Bye.